Hey, I'm Michael. I'm a hydroponics hobbyist, and I have people ask me every once in a while how to make a simple hydroponics system. So this video I'm going to show how to make a deep water culture system, which is arguably the simplest of the hydroponics systems. If you're familiar with the Aero Garden, that's a deep water culture system. So let's get started. Let me show you some of the things we're going to need to put this together. First thing we're going to need is a place to put our plants and the water and nutrients that will feed them. I have here a simple little container. I think I got it at Big Lots for about $1. And this will be where we store the water and nutrients, and then we'll cut holes in the top, and this is where the plants will go. The plants will be put in what are called net cups. And these are 2-inch net cups, what I'm going to use. Net cups can be purchased online or any hydroponic shop. I tend to purchase them in bulk. I usually purchase them in bags of about 150 of these. So we have our container, and we know we're going to be putting our plants in net cups. In addition to the water and the nutrients that the plants are going to need, the water actually needs to be oxygenated. The plants won't grow if there's no oxygen in there. And so in addition to the container and the net cups, I got a little air pump. I got this from a pet store. It's meant for fish tanks because fish also need oxygenated water. And in addition to that, I have a little air stone that I purchased. These air pumps, if you get them online, I've seen them in the $10 range. A lot of pet stores are now selling the cheapest air pumps in the $20 range. This is probably the most expensive investment of the deep water culture system. And the last supply we're going to need is something for the roots of the plants to grab onto. There's a couple options out there, but I'm going to show you my favorite. It's a medium called rock wool. And I buy it in large sheets. This sheet contains approximately 100 what they call plugs of rock wool. And I will quickly tear off one. This is actually rock that has been liquefied and then extruded so that it has more of a sponge quality. It will soak up and hold water and allow the roots to actually grow through the rock wool into the water nutrient bath. And that's pretty much it for what we're going to need to build our deep water culture system. A couple of other things we're going to need. I have a drill that has a hole saw on it. The hole saw is a 2-inch, and it is perfect for drilling holes for our 2-inch net cups. And we're going to be drilling the holes directly in the top of our container, so this is where the net cups will sit. Now before I drill the holes, I actually try to go through and sort of mark where I want them. The marks don't need to be precise, but I like to get an idea of where I'm going to be drilling. I want to get as many net cups into the top of this container as I can. In this case, I'm going to try for 9. Drilling holes in these containers can be messy work. So I have the trash can here. I'm just going to do it straight over the trash can. I'm going to take the lid off the container, hold it over the trash can. And one thing about these hole saws is they're too aggressive for this plastic. If you try to do this normally, it will just tear this plastic apart and it'll be useless. But if you run this hole cutter backwards, it actually works much better and it won't tear your plastic apart. I'm going to do one on camera and then do the rest off camera. I don't want to have you all sit through the process of doing all 9 of these. And you can see that took a little longer than normal because I was running the saw backwards from how it was meant to be used. But I got a nice clean cut and no breakage, which is what I'm going for. Alright, believe it or not, we are almost done. I've drilled 9 holes in the top of this lid, and I got a little bit, well, I got impatient, and I actually did cause a break right here, but it's not a bad break, and it's not going to cause a problem. Over here is the net cups I'm going to use. They sit in there just fine, even with the break. These particular net cups, there's one thing they're pretty good, but there is one thing I don't like about them. I'll show a picture because it's probably going to be very hard to see, but there's just too much plastic in the bottom, and it's going to cause a block for the roots between the seed and the water. So I actually take little snippers and I snip the bottoms out. I'll put in a picture so it'll show better what I'm talking about. Alright, we've got our net cups ready. We've got our lid ready. One thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to drill a hole in the lid to accommodate the air hose that's going to run to the air stone that's going to provide oxygen to the water. And I'm just going to use a regular 1/4 inch bit to do that, but I'm going to do it off the video. Alright, the hole has been drilled. There is my air hose going through there, and it may not show up on the video, but there is an air stone at the end of the hose. So this is actually done. I'll fit 9 net cups in here, and I will fill this with water. Now, I've been mentioning the whole video that this is a water nutrient bath, but actually seeds don't like nutrients, and so what I'm actually going to do is start this with just plain water. The water where I live is actually really clean, so I just use tap water, but depending on how much gunk impurities, chlorine, chemicals are in your tap water, you might consider going to the store and buying distilled water and using that instead. Alright, I have my little rock wool plug here. I'm going to fit it into my 2-inch net cup with the bottom snipped out. And then these are just regular seeds, jalapeno and spinach. And I'm going to put one little seed in the top of each of these pieces of rock wool, and then I'm going to fill this up so that the rock wool just barely sits in the water, and then I'm going to put some water on top, and then it'll take about a week, but the seeds will just start to grow. And our little hydroponic tub is now finished. You can see that the air stone is down there bubbling away happily, and you'll see I added some toothpicks in the top. The toothpicks help me to remember what seeds I put in there. The red toothpicks on the right indicate jalapeno. The green toothpicks in the middle are spinach, and I also decided to go ahead and put some soybeans in there. So those are the cups that don't have any toothpicks. I have them sitting on a window ledge so they can get some light, but they're actually not going to get enough light there, so I do have a grow lamp next to them to give them a little bit more supplemental light. So that's it, it's done. I hope you found something useful out of this video, and I hope you all try your own hydroponics tub. And until we talk again, I wish you happy growing.